March 18, 1937 started out like any other day in the small East Texas town of New London. Students at the school were busy preparing for the next day's Inter-scholastic meet in Henderson. In nearby Tyler, preparations were underway for the opening of the brand new Mother Frances Hospital, scheduled to open on March 19th. The peaceful day was soon shattered when a massive gas explosion ignited underneath the school, immediately causing the school to implode, burying its victims under a mass of brick, steel, and concrete debris. John Davidson was born and raised in New London. He had an older sister, Ardyth, who was killed in the explosion that day.
Daddy would not talk about her at all. My mother would make, casual statements sometimes about teaching her to drive and how pretty she was and how talented, but not much. Just something that it just hurt for them to talk about. They blocked it out of their lives, I guess.
For the New London community, talking about the tragedy was something that took time to deal with.
People did not want to talk about what happened here for 40 years. They had their first organized reunion 40 years later. People came back, they started talking about their experiences, and they started to heal. They finally got closure. It was just easier, I guess, in those days to block it out of your mind than to talk about it.
Miles Toller, a 1958 graduate of London High, is the current museum director at the London Museum. He explains what that day means to him.
It was a day that a generation died. It means for us that so many young people left behind their parents, and as many have told us, you're not supposed to bury your children. But what it means to us is that those kids who died and those adults that died was not in vain, because after the explosion, you started smelling gas because we put the deodorant in it. So how many people now say, "What's that smell?" And they go check. It all came right out of here.
Of the 500 students and 40 teachers in the building, approximately 298 died. Those who were wounded were taken to nearby Mother Frances Hospital, which opened its doors a day early to care for the victims of the London school explosion. Through this tragedy, Mother Frances Hospital has always held a special place in the hearts of New London residents, and they feel gratitude for the care their children received that day.
Just 2 words: thank you. That's all you can say. You don't have to elaborate. You just realize that they opened their arms, their doors, and their hearts, and they knew the need was there, and so they reacted to it. So you just say thank you.
I think what is so very important to me, so many people know how our hospital began, that it was opened a day earlier in 1937 because of the great explosion in New London School. And the sisters were ready to open it the very next day. But knowing that tragedy happened, they didn't wait. They didn't say, okay, we have opening next day, so please wait. No, they knew that they needed to respond. And they like how sisters and the staff, doctors, and the community of Tyler and surrounding responded to that tragic situation.
Toller and the staff at the museum continue to share the individual stories from that day.
What we try to do here at the museum is to let people in East Texas know the story. And you'll be surprised how many people have never been to the museum. It's a story that they don't know anything about. We want people to know that we're here and that we have a story to tell. And not just us at the museum are telling the story, but the parents, the survivors, and those who lost their lives are telling a story.
The museum is always looking for more untold stories to share.
We want as much information, as much stories that we can get out to the public, because it's a story that deserves to be told.